To say good morning, my dear friend, award-winning actor and teacher and wonderful human being, Anthony Brandon Wong. Anthony has been one of my main acting teachers and mentors over the last 6 years. Anthony is a certified Chubbuck teacher through Ivana Chubbuck herself in Los Angeles. Anthony has been working as an actor for over 39 years in film, TV, and stage, and teaching for over 40 years here in Australia and overseas, with an impressive credits list, including The Matrix Reloaded and Revolutions, Godzilla and Kong, The New Empire, Steven Soderbergh's Haywire, The Family Law, NCIS, The 12 Season 2, Glee, The Invisible Man, Guns, Girls and Gambling with Gary Oldman, Flight of the Phoenix, and the list goes on. Anthony's stage credits include more than 30 productions with major companies, including Sydney Theatre Company, Melbourne Theatre Company, Malthouse Theatre, and the State Theatre Company of South Australia. Anthony Brandon Wong has won the Victorian Green Room Award for Sex Diary of an Infidel. He has also won 3 Equity Ensemble Awards for his role in The Family Law. Additionally, he received a Sydney's Critics Circle Award nomination for Sex Diary of an Infidel. Anthony's stage work has also garnered him nominations for the Green Room Award for performances in The Temple and The Language of the Gods. We are so thrilled to have you here at Actors Room Byron Bay to be bringing the wonderful 2-day intensive Chubbuck Technique masterclass on the 23rd and 24th of August here at the Byron Bay studio. Welcome, my friend.
Thank you, Kate. Can you just introduce me in every situation in life? When I
Yes.
walk into a restaurant, can you just do that spiel? Thank you.
Absolutely.
That's so lovely. I'm so excited to come back. I have always had such beautiful experiences with you at the Actors Room. You've created something so beautiful up there and something so nurturing of the artistic community up there. The actors are wonderful that I've gotten to work with. So I'm so thrilled. And what people can expect is to dive into in a safe and nurturing and supportive environment. And I'm always about that. Um, to learn a technique which is used by A-list actors around the world. So it's used by Oscar winners like Halle Berry and Charlize Theron, Jared Leto, Jon Voight, Oscar nominees like Brad Pitt, Jake Gyllenhaal, Terrence Howard, Catherine Keener, Elizabeth Shue, and the list goes on. People like Gail Godot, Ryan Reynolds, Chris Pine, Marsha Cross, America Ferrera, who recently got an Oscar nomination for Barbie. They all use this technique. And the reason it's so effective is because it draws upon your lived experiences in life, but not just your lived experiences. It draws upon your associations with people in your life, events that have happened, but also your imagination based on those events. And I've found, because I've studied with more than 100 teachers from around the world, and they all work, so I never get into a religious war about which is the best technique. But this Ivana Chubbuck technique is a really powerful technique to add to one's acting toolbox because you can directly use what you've been through. And people go, well, is that dangerous? Is that traumatic? And I have been teaching this for a lot of years, and I've had lots of discussions with Ivana Chubbuck herself about this very issue, about mental health and well-being, which I'm all about, as you know. And I find that rather than people being traumatized or finding it dangerous, they find it empowering. They're able to use the experiences they've gone through and to put it into a creative medium where it's actually cathartic, and often people find it quite therapeutic. And it's actually fun. As you know, you've worked with me for many years now. It's not always about doom and gloom. It's actually about taking the things that have happened in your life and using them as fuel to win in your characters, in your scene objectives, in your scenes. Um, it's a really practical technique. A lot of people have studied with me and said, wow, I've been in the profession for 30 years And I felt like a fake all that time. I felt like I didn't know what I was doing. And now when I've studied this 12-step technique, the Chubbuck technique, I feel like I've got a methodology for how to approach any script. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be work that people might surprise themselves with in terms of how wonderfully truthful and high stakes their performances can become from using this technique, how detailed, how nuanced, and how real and how dynamic. So we'll be working with that, and we'll also be working with a lot of mindset work because I do believe that what creates a successful craft and career is a combination of working on the tools of the trade,
Yeah.
practical acting tools, and also working on the mindset that nurtures your best confidence. So we'll be doing both of those.
Amazing. It sounds so beautiful. And I do know from past experience how rewarding the 2-day masterclass is and how much of a beautiful deep dive it is into the Chubbuck technique, the 12 actors steps. Even if you're just starting out learning the Chubbuck technique or you're coming back as
Mm.
a seasoned actor and you want to push yourself further. And so it's just a wonderful 2-day acting masterclass.
And
Um,
I always tailor the class to who's in the class. So if
yeah.
people are greener and newer to the industry, then I take that into account in the way I explain exercises to them, the way I tailor things for them. And if in the same class there are also people who've been in the business 30 years, I tailor my feedback to them from, that knowledge of where they've been in their journey and where they are in their journey.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you, Anthony. One of the things I was thinking about after all the years of teaching and one-on-one sessions and all the wonderful experienced and beginner actors that you've worked with over the years, what were some of the rewarding stories that you have heard through feedback through the people you've coached with this technique and all of your insights that you bring to your teaching from your career?
Oh, well, that's a great question because they're just so. I mean, one of the most satisfying things about being an acting teacher and coach is seeing people's huge leaps in their personal life, in their relationships, in their confidence in the way they walk into a room, the way they self-tape, and in booking jobs and getting agents. I mean, you're a great example because in my mindset for success for artists class that I did many years ago, I remember we did an exercise where I got you to get up and give an Oscar speech or an award speech. And uh, one of the things in your speech was that you thanked your agent. Now, at that time, I think you didn't have an agent. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes, I didn't
And
have.
you said, I want to thank Rob Woodburn for, all his support. And you had not been in touch with Rob. And was it like a week later or very
Yeah.
short amount of time later, he calls you out of the blue and says, I want to represent you. And so I mean, I've had so many stories like that and stories of people who had one of the worst years of their life. And then in that same year, they did some work with me and then they went on to book a huge Hollywood blockbuster that changed their career. And because I think the power of our mind because our mind is this incredible filtering mechanism whereby what you choose to focus on is what you choose to empower and bring into your life and attract. And so we are so powerful in that. And that's one of the things we'll be looking at with practical tools in the class is how can you use your mind to be a really great bestie to be a really great inner guru, inner friend, inner nurturer, rather than to use your mind to be a harsh, edgy, sharp-tongued critic. And, you can still be really honest about your work and what needs improvement, but there's a way to do that you can be loving and caring to yourself and other people and you can make the whole process yummy and delicious rather than a real strain and a real stress. So we'll be looking at that as well, different tools to change one's narrative about oneself as an artist, about oneself as a working actor and about the industry.
Yeah, beautiful. Um, Wonderful. So yes, the abundant mindset's so important, and then the 12-step Chubbuck technique, and then you also bring other insights. As you said, you've worked with over 100 teachers in your
Yeah.
career, some of the best in the world. So you bring those components into the 2-day teaching as well. And it's
And
an,
also a lot of just sort of, from the frontline stories of working
yeah,
with many of the world's best actors. So I will share those stories. So it's not just theory. It's like, well, I tried this exercise in this situation with Gary Oldman, or I tried this
Mm.
exercise that I'm teaching you in this scene with Nicole Kidman, and it helps everyone in the room understand the practicalities of it, of actually doing it in the industry. It's not just sort of highfalutin theory. It's actual, because I'm an actor and I'm constantly putting myself out there and making myself vulnerable, like all of my students. I am teaching it from a place of great empathy because I know what it's like to have to front up into an audition room or on a set, or first day of rehearsal in a major new theater show, and I know how nerve-wracking that can be. So my insights and what I share come from great compassion and great respect for what we do as actors and how much courage it takes and how much self-support we need.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And how important it is to have community, to show up to these master
Mm.
classes and keep working on your craft and learn from brilliant master teachers in a safe environment where you can explore your craft more and leave the weekend feeling so inspired. And
Yeah, safe environment. I'm glad you said those words because I think a great acting class should challenge you to go beyond your comfort zone, but it shouldn't hurt.
yeah,
And it shouldn't be mean, and it shouldn't be shaming or any of those things that sometimes can occur in acting classes. I think it's best when it's fun, it's nurturing, it's affirming, and it's also, there's honest feedback about what we need to improve. But it's the way you deliver that feedback. You don't have to deliver it in a way that wounds. You can deliver it in a way that inspires and excites people to go to the next level and to affirm what they're doing well already and then build upon that. And that's the way I like to work. I like to, I don't like to be a meanie because I don't think that gets the best out
no,
of people. It's not
and
who I am as a
you're
human
not.
being anyway.
Yes, you're not. You're the most generous teacher, and we're so grateful to have you up here. So, anyone who's interested in joining, everybody is welcome. And you can apply through the website, which is www.actorsroombyronbay.com. And again, the masterclass is on the 23rd and 24th of August from 9 till 6. And we are just so thrilled to have you back, Anthony. So,
Oh,
thank you.
I'm so thrilled to be back. And there are places for participants who do the scene work, and there are also places for active auditors who observe the coaching of the scene work, but who are also involved in practical acting exercises and also success mindset building exercises that the whole class do. So even if you sign up as an auditor, you won't just be passively sitting there all day. You'll be involved in exercises as well. So everyone gets to practically immerse themselves in the process.
Wonderful. Thank you, Anthony. Such a joy talking
Thank you so
to
much. So good to talk to you. See you in a couple of weeks. Thank
you.
you again for having me back.
Thank you, Anthony. Bye.
Bye. Bye.